Hey, what's going on, YouTube family? I hope everybody's having an amazing Tuesday, December 7th, wherever you're at in the world. I just wanted to create this video, not a super long video, just going over the position that I took this morning on gold, a really quick scalp position, the reasoning why I took it, and then also wanted to just kind of go over what I'm seeing play out on gold, XAUUSD for the remainder of the week, over the next 12 to 24 hours especially. So let's get right into that. As you can see on my screen right now, XAUUSD. So really briefly, I just wanted to get into this position that I took this morning, and the reasoning behind why I took this position, because it was a super straightforward scalp with nice risk reward on that as well. So pre-New York session, right before we got moving into New York session, throughout the duration of Asian session and as we pushed into London, there wasn't a whole lot of movement with gold, right? We had consolidation, pretty much just mass consolidation, a lot of fake out moves, really just the market rushing itself into session highs and lows, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like it likes to do. So right at the open, or before the open of New York session, we saw a massive hammer into the downside, right? We saw gold just smashing down. Huge, what is this? Just an hourly candle. I'm pretty sure that it was all within, it was all within 1 hour. It was all within 30 minutes, actually, that entire drop to the downside. Point is, though, gold was absolutely hammering down. And what we saw begin to happen, if we look between the 15-minute and the 30-minute on gold, is as soon as we ran into this blue zone right here, the market hit a floor, right? Price didn't want to keep pushing past that level, and we could tell that by the evident wick offs that were coming off in the 15 to 30 minute. Now, this type of move, if you guys have been trading with me for a while, you're going to know that this is the type of move that I take all the time, because what we're going to see happen at the open of trading sessions is price is going to go for a huge rush into a previous session high or session low and then make its dash. And that's what we saw here happen, because price dashed down to this level, which just happened to be London session highs from yesterday. We began to immediately wick off on the 15 and 30 minute, and from that point we just rushed right up. On top of that intraday level, just off the top side of this zone here, if we take that off, we'll be able to see it more clearly. This arrow coming through is our H4 key level. All right, so we're also rejecting off of that H4 key level at the exact same time as the intraday zone. And on top of that, just like we always like our fibs to come into play, we'll see here if we stretch from the lows into our newly printed off highs, it was a direct rejection off of the 618 fib level, which is obviously that golden fib level we're looking for, between the 618 and the 78.6. Okay, so that nice hard rush at the beginning of New York session into session level highs, also rejected off of H4 key level, also rejected off of the 61.8 fib level on the standard retracement. Okay, but like I said, it was, more so just a scalp position than anything, because even though we stretch a little bit higher, we just go from session level into session level. And so we traded off of London session London session highs from yesterday, and we took that position directly into London session highs from today. So we can just remove that directly off there, so it's not confusing us at all. But really all I'm looking to see play out is this 1790 level. Or where I have my cross here. 1790 is, in my opinion, going to hold to be a really strong and crucial level with gold going forward over the next day or two. Because the way I'm seeing it is, we had a huge crash down on gold, right? Last 2 weeks, really. We were just soaring into the downside. But as soon as we approached daily key level at 1779 and all these other intraday levels in around that same zone, we began to hit that point where price didn't want to climb much further. And we can see there was still bearish price action coming down. We can see that there was still wicks being poked in the downside, but price didn't want to continue pushing down at such a massive rate as what we saw in the previous weeks. Since that point, we've pulled back above 1779, retested once, retested twice, just below that zone, we've pulled back above again. And so I'm really going to be keeping my eyes on 1790. I'm not going to be looking to place any more trades until we really get to that level, because what I think is going to play out is we're going to run up into 1790, either make that crack and make its move back into the upside, for the week, or we're going to take a direct rejection off that point and continue pushing into new lows. But I think that because of what we saw here with PA over the past week and a half, even this week so far on the H4, on the hourly, and all the way up into the daily, because of everything we're seeing there, as well as the potential weakness that we see coming into play with the US dollar, in my opinion, we have a really strong chance of not only picking up steam into 1790, but crashing directly through it and moving up into our next targets, which will be 1807. All right, family. So hopefully that makes sense with everyone. Now moving forward, as we do push into 1790, this level that I have on here with the arrow is a H4 key level, right? Drawn off the 4-hour time frame. So what I'm ideally going to be looking for to take buys off that point is to see an H4 candle close above that level, right? A 4-hour candle close above that level. And also if we can get some sort of clean retest on the 15-minute, 5-minute, somewhere in around that range. Okay, and then of course on the flip side, if we aren't able to crack fully through 1790, same type of thing, right? Off of the H4 candlesticks, right? Always off those H4 candles. So we're not going to see that H4 candle close above if that's the case. And as we break down in the 15-minute, 5-minute, minute, that's where we're going to see that real clean price action that we're looking for coming off that zone. So let me just pop some of these in here so everybody can kind of have an idea of what I'm looking for. We'll push this down into the hourly just so it's beautiful. So price to either push into 1790 and drop off from that point. And I should also mention too, if price does drop off of 1790 and we clear below 1779, then new lows is where I'm looking for. New lows entirely for us to come back, at least crack down towards 1762, these lows over here, if not all the way into 1753. And then on the flip side, if we get that crack through there, boom, into the upside, just like so. All right, family. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. I hope everybody understands the reasoning why I'm looking at taking this entry. We've been absolutely slaughtering gold for weeks on end, so hopefully we can keep that streak up. With that being said, I hope everybody appreciates this video. With that being said, have an amazing afternoon, evening, morning, wherever it is that you're residing in, whatever time zone. Let me know how everybody's trades go with gold and what analysis you see coming up with it. This is just one video of many on this platform, so I hope everybody really enjoys. That being said, peace.